Hello everyone. Now today we're going to be drawing a Chinese dragon because this is in preparation for next week when we make a dragon out of salt dough, a bit like this. Always when we start a project like this, it is a really good idea to start by drawing what it is you're going to make. Okay, so if you notice, this dragon is a different shape. So actually I've done two pictures of dragon. I wanted to show you this picture because of the shading. So I've used different tones using my pencil, and that's something I want you to focus on today. But I've also done this drawing, and which I've started, but I've only just started doing the shading. But I wanted to show you the two steps, and I wanted to show you how this is a similar shape to the salt dough dragon that we're going to make. Now this topic is similar to some work that year 3 are doing, but it's not exactly the same. It's similar salt dough activity, but we're focusing on different elements. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing is to take a piece of paper, and you are going to need a good sharp pencil. If you have a drawing pencil, that's the best. I have a 3B. It's always good to start with a 2B pencil, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to create the body shape of the dragon. So his head is going to be an egg shape, and then his body is going to come round like a snake and go up into a point like this, and then you're going to draw the second line of the body coming around, and then just make the tail into a point like that. Okay, now we want to start to shape the face. So now that I've got the basic shape, I'm just going to change some of the lines so that he has a mane at the top. So I've just made that line longer, and then his head is going to come out with a big pointed section here. And that's going to be the basic shape of my dragon's head, which is going to join up here. I can rub out all of these marks later, and then I'm going to start adding the eye, with the eyeball. I'm going to add nostrils. I'm going to add big sharp teeth. Come out from his mouth like that because there's not enough room. And I'm going to add an ear, which comes off like this. And I'm going to add a few lines, okay? Now you can see I'm not doing any shading at the moment. I'm just getting the shape of my dragon. I might want to continue a mane at the top here. Okay, so this is my dragon shape so far, and then I'm going to start to add the legs of my dragon. I'm only going to do the two legs that I can see at the front. You need to make sure they bend around like this, and then you can start to draw the claws on. Now you can see that my legs, I haven't got enough space to draw the legs on. So just give an impression of them, and you can see I've got one straight line bending round. Okay, I'm going to do another leg here, straight lines, two straight lines, and then bending round like this. Okay, and coming off the page again. Okay, so I'm going to give my dragon claws as well. Okay. Now can you see that I'm using really dark lines to do this drawing, because as you see, I start off with an initial shape, but then I start to change the shape, And that's what you need to be doing as well. So I'm going to concentrate on the tail now, and I'm going to give the tail, make the tail have a big mane like this. A big fluttery mane coming out like this. And I'm beginning to get the shape of my dragon. I might have a beard coming down like this around his neck. You could have scales or a mane coming down the middle of your dragon. You might want to add, well, I think that I have added enough details onto my dragon. What I'm going to do now that I've got the body shape and I've added some details, I'm going to now think about the scales inside. So I'm going to draw scales. Now I'm not going to draw every single scale on the dragon because it would take me forever. So I'm going to choose areas that curve where I'm going to put those dragon scales on. And then in the center of my, and then I might do some around the edges. And then in the center of my dragon, I'm just going to add groups of close-knit scales. So it gives an impression that the whole dragon is covered in those scales. Okay. Okay. Now I'm pretty happy, or I might put some scales on my dragon's legs. Now I'm pretty happy now with the outline of this dragon. So what I need to do now is to reinforce all the lines I want to keep and get rid of the lines that I don't want. So you need to go around with your pencil and just darken up all the lines that you want. And get rid of those lines that you don't want. Okay? Now that's going to take you some time, but it's a really important step to making your dragon look real. So you're also going to highlight by darkening up the lines, all of the features, all of the scales. Every single line you want to keep, and then you can rub out with an eraser, you can rub out, for example, this line that you don't want to keep. So finally, your dragon should really stand out. I'm not going to do that now because it's going to take me too long for this video, but you really want to bring out the lines. Once you've done that, year 3, your next job is to think about the shading. You need to think about what parts of the dragon you really want to stand out. So for example, I think shading really darkly around the edges of the dragon is a really important step, because those are the important lines that you want to stand out. And remember, when you're shading, move your hand up the pencil and put your pencil on the side. So shading in. Then what you can do is you can vary the shading to get lighter and lighter. And then I suggest, year 3, that the center of your shading is the lightest section. So you're going to work from the edges, starting really dark, and then get lighter and lighter as you approach the middle. Okay. Now this is going to take you some time, but if you really work hard to do this, your dragon will look amazing. It's really worth the effort to take the time to create a really well shaded dragon. Now I'm not going to continue with my dragon. I will leave an example of my dragon here for you to have a look at. You can see how around the edges is the darker parts, and then the lighter parts, remember to leave lighter parts around. You can see the individual hairs on this part of the beard, okay, just by doing pencil marks, swift pencil marks on your dragon, like so, okay? So, dark around the edges in your shading, getting lighter as you move into the middle, keeping all the lines around your dragon nice and strong, okay? And you should end up with a beautiful dragon that next week we can turn into a salt dough project. So, good luck. Bye for now.